Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I don't know about you, but I cannot believe that it's already almost 2024. I don't know where this year went, but it's almost Christmas, it's almost the new year, and with the new year, I think it's always good to do a little reset. Whether you're into resolutions or not, I really think it's good to reflect on this year, just an idea of what you'd like to take with you from this year and things that you'd like to maybe work on or improve. So related to that, I thought that we could spend today talking about some mental health journals. And by that, I mean journals that help you along your mental health journey. For example, I broke it up into different categories that kind of all have to do with mental health, and also different categories based on what different people prefer. So I did break up these journals into different categories based on your individual needs or what you're trying to address. So I'm going to be talking about journals that are focusing on self-care, journals that are targeting anxiety and maybe some racing thoughts, more workbook journals that are a little bit more engaging and involve a little bit more from you on a daily basis. Journals that, on the other hand, are quicker for someone who just likes to spend 5 minutes in the beginning of the day working through a journal. For example, the very popular 5-minute journal. Journals that are focusing on shadow work. So again, a little bit deeper, a little bit more engaging, and kind of pulling back the layers on some deeper issues that are going on and really reflecting on that. Journals that are focusing on finances. So finances are a big part of mental health. I know money stresses a lot of people out. So these journals or trackers are good for keeping track of your bills and your finances and your spending. And then journals that are just in terms of organizing your life, organizing your daily routines, your habits, and looking at the month as a whole. So I would like to say that some of these journals I personally haven't used, but I did spend a lot of time taking a closer look at them, seeing what they have to offer, looking at reviews, seeing if they really do what they're saying they're doing, and seeing how helpful it might be to someone who really wants to go in and take, the journal seriously. So for each category, I'm going to be listing 2 journals that I would recommend based on my research. But I do want to say, check below in the description because I will be linking a few more journals in each category just to give a variety. So there will be 12 journals in total because there's 6 categories. And none of this is sponsored. This is just me looking to see what journals in each category would be beneficial. Before we get started, if you're new here, my name is Eva. I'm a licensed therapist and welcome to my therapy corner. If you'd like to continue seeing some of my videos, then don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and comment below some of the journals that you use on a regular basis. So the first category that we're going to be taking a look at are journals that are focusing on self-care. Self-care is huge when it comes to mental health. I think it's very important to recognize that self-care is not just what we want to do, but what's best for us in the moment. I don't feel enough people practice self-care or prioritize it. Oftentimes people do feel guilty for doing so, or they feel rushed. Many different reasons why people may not prioritize self-care, but using a journal might actually help keep someone on track and hold themselves accountable in terms of taking the time to practice self-care. The first planner that I'm going to mention, which is actually something that I'm going to be trying for 2024, is called the Self-Care Planner. I chose to use this for next year because I really love the layout of it. I'm a very visual person, and it also targets so many different aspects of someone's life. For example, to-do lists, habit trackers, mood, food, different meals that you're cooking or eating, exercise, a daily just organizer, priorities, gratitude, everything is all in one. It goes weekly, and I believe it goes monthly as well, like a reflection for the week or the month. I love reflections because you could see everything as a whole. Great way to just really process how you've been going through the week, what you're feeling, what you can take with you into the next week. So I thought this was a great option for someone who's looking to begin working on self-care, especially someone who isn't even sure what areas of self-care that they need to focus on, because this kind of gives you prompts in terms of what areas to begin looking at. Now, although I'm going to be linking a couple more self-care journals below, I did want to include a self-love journal in here as well. Self-love and self-care kind of go hand in hand. And again, something to begin focusing on. So with this, I wanted to recommend the Self-Love Clever Fox Journal. I absolutely adore the Clever Fox brand. They have so many different types of journals. They have just daily planners, which actually I'm going to be talking about later. They have finance planners. They have self-love planners, self-love journals. They have habit trackers. They have gratitude journals. They have so many different kinds, undated monthly planners. They have daily appointment books. They have any type of journal that you could ever want, they offer and they have created. So I definitely wanted to sneak that in here. They do offer a self-love journal. I wanted to include this in here because Clever Fox, again, does a really good job at incorporating what you need to focus on with each theme into the journal. And it doesn't seem to leave anything out. So with the self-love journal, they do have a focus on gratitude, affirmations, what you're excited about, what you're proud of, your moods. They even have a whole page where you can reflect on yourself and better get to know yourself, which I think is so important because so many people struggle with like who they are and what they like, what they dislike. So this is a great way to begin to better understand yourself, especially because it gives prompts. And I think prompts are so great for people who have trouble coming up with thinking of things on their own. In the section of better getting to know yourself, they even have a part where you write down what you like and what you dislike in terms of kind of what fulfills you and what drains you. And that's important too when it comes to self-care, because that can inform your self-care practices. Really knowing what fulfills you and what drains you, separate from what you want to do and what you don't want to do, is so crucial when it comes to your self-care planning. Something that you want to do may actually drain you, and something that you don't want to do may actually fulfill you. And then hopefully by the time you finish filling this out, you can create your own self-love rituals, your own self-care rituals that are personalized to you, or you can continue using these journals throughout your life. So we're going to move on to the workbook journals. These journals require a little bit more effort in terms of reflecting on your feelings, your thoughts, really challenging some behaviors that come up for you, really kind of diving deep into the whys, why you're doing those things, why you're thinking those things. They tend to target anxiety and depression or like a specific thing that you might be struggling with. So the first journal is the Worry for Nothing journal. I chose this because it kind of focuses on like a cognitive behavioral approach, which if you're not familiar with what that is, it involves kind of challenging your thoughts and reframing them. In this journal, you write down your feeling and then the thought, and then it challenges the thought and really asks you, why were you having that? Why are you feeling that way? How do you feel now after reflecting on that thought? So it's great for people who struggle with mind racing, who have thoughts that just pop up randomly, seemingly randomly, but it could have been because of a feeling. Oftentimes people do feel things and then they have a thought. You feel sad and then the thought comes in because our feelings are so quick. You could be triggered by something and then have a very quick response, a very quick feeling, and then the thoughts start pouring in. So this helps you slow down, stop your thoughts, take a look at them, see what's going on, and it also documents your worries. It documents your anxieties so you can look back and see what was going on. The second journal that I wanted to suggest in this category is the Peace of Mind journal. Again, this targets anxiety. It's a little bit of a different layout. However, there are page prompts just like the other journal that we talked about, which again is great for engaging someone who really wants to further assess what's going on with their anxiety. I also chose this journal because they do include reflections on yourself and your life, which, like we mentioned before, is really good in terms of getting to know yourself and just to slow down, process what's going on in your life, really reflect on it, really see, does this align with who I am? Is this really where I want to be? And see maybe what changes you'd like to make in terms of getting where you want to be. So again, these two workbook journals are great for addressing anxiety, taking a closer look at what's going on, really reflecting. I would say you would spend maybe 15 to 20 minutes, maybe even half an hour on these journals every day, which is a good chunk of time to spend on yourself. On the other hand, the third category we're going to be talking about are journals that are quick. These journals are for people who maybe have a busy lifestyle, who really just don't have much time to spend working on this, or maybe don't want to spend that much time working on themselves, but would like to spend some time each day just doing reflections. But again, great way to establish a routine. Just doing 5 minutes a day, that's better than nothing. And especially because it'll add up throughout the days, you could have some reflections that you never would have even thought you were having on day 1 on day 7 or 14, 2 weeks later. So the first one that I'm going to mention in this category is the very popular 5-minute journal. This is a good journal that has prompts again, but maybe prompts that are not as in depth. One thing I will say is that these journals do have a lot of repetition because it is the same thing every day. That's what kind of makes it a quick thing rather than really diving deep into what's going on. It's just a daily reflection on some gratitude, maybe some affirmations, maybe some quotes, how you're feeling today, what's going on, maybe a goal you have, a priority for the day. Very day oriented rather than kind of seeing the progress throughout the week and then reflecting on the week and then improving the next week. So just a check-in. That's what it really is. It's a check-in with yourself, seeing how you're feeling, and then moving on. However, just because they don't have a reflection, I don't believe they have a reflection in this journal, but they do have weekly challenges, which are good too. So just very, very simple weekly challenges that you can try to do for yourself. Another quick journal that I discovered was the 6-minute diary. And this is very similar. Again, repetition, daily kind of prompts. But it did have a focus on gratitude, affirmations, quotes, and actually this one did talk about improvement, so ways you can improve, reflecting on lessons that you learned or maybe things that you want to change. And this one does have a weekly reflection, which I actually really liked because it's a very simple journal, but it still includes some of these things in it, like the weekly reflections that has a notes page right after it that you can just jot down some notes to take with you to the next week. And it has a monthly check, which I just remembered. So the 6-minute diary actually would be good for someone who's kind of in between. So wants to do something a bit quicker, but does like to have those those checkpoints at the week mark and the month mark. Okay, so the next category is diving much deeper into shadow work. And shadow work talks about, the deep stuff. It talks about maybe some trauma that you've experienced. It talks about your child self, the parts of ourselves that, we might keep hidden. It's a much more in-depth look at what's really going on. The shadow work journals are definitely for someone who wants to dedicate time to really uncovering what's going on underneath the surface. Shadow work journals are a little bit heavier than some of these other journals. The other journals focus on habits and daily life and reflections on, what fulfills you, what drains you, to-do lists. It's a little bit lighter. Even the anxiety workbooks are a little bit lighter than this. So shadow work, there may be emotions that come up, there may be feelings that come up that are uncomfortable. Definitely really diving into kind of addressing those uncomfortable feelings head on and really working through them. So someone who likes to do the heavy work right off the bat, these journals would be a good choice. First journal in this category is the Shadow Work Journal. This journal I liked because it focuses on going deep to the root cause of a problem, which honestly a lot of the time goes way back to childhood, to something that happened. So it really goes all the way back to uncover where some of these issues that you might be struggling with truly started. And it does have exercises and reflective prompts, which I do like as well. The second one I wanted to recommend is the Shadow Work Journal and Workbook. And this is a very extensive one because I noticed that it was a 3-in-1 book. So there's probably a ton of information in there and it might take a while to get through, but again, a very in-depth approach at looking at some of these shadow sides of ourselves. For this one, it did say that it focused on inner child soothing, healing, and growth, which again can be a little bit uncomfortable or difficult, but also lead to a lot of healing and growth, which is why I think they put that in there. And there are exercises as well. So these are the 2 journals I would recommend for that. Again, I will link 1 or 2 more down below, just to give a variety of this. I think especially with shadow work, I think the journal does matter in terms of what people want to address, how in depth they want to go, because again, some people might be a little bit hesitant to look at these shadow work journals. So if you see a variety, maybe there might be one that sticks out to you. The next category involves planners and organizers, just as simple as that. These don't, I mean, you can incorporate in these journals reflections on your own regarding your mental health, but I chose these because planning and organizing is essential to mental health, just in terms of keeping track of things, holding accountability. It makes their lives less chaotic. It increases motivation when you have a goal set for yourself. And also, when you accomplish goals and you accomplish some of these to-do lists on your own, you feel proud and you feel good about yourself. And that could really help in terms of self-esteem and just your own ability to complete some of these things and to achieve. For example, someone struggling with depression, just trying to organize one thing that they can do for the week, one goal, just a very simple goal to accomplish by the end of the week. If that person achieves that goal, they know it's possible to get there, and it might increase motivation or inspire them to continue working towards that goal in the next week or try a new goal. I'm going to bring it back to the Clever Fox planners. The Clever Fox planner is a great planner to organize your life. Again, it has everything in it. It has to-do lists, priorities, habit trackers, monthly reflections in different areas of your life, different types of reflections, personal, romance, relationships, friends, spiritual, health, every aspect that you can want to reflect on, it has in this journal. One part of this journal that I really like is the focus on wins and what you can improve on. So the wins for the week, and then what you can take with you, what lessons you learned into the next week to accomplish a new goal, what you'd like to improve on. So I really like the focus on the positive aspects of the week and things that you'd like to change. A very similar planner is the Legend Planner. It's slightly different visually, and I do actually really like the layout of the Legend Planner. But in terms of focus, it does focus on some of the same things, the to-do list, the priorities, what you'd like to accomplish in the month. One thing I really love about this journal is the 1-year plan, and kind of it has you like list your dreams and list where you'd like to see yourself, life goals, self-awareness, self-discovery, again, getting to know yourself better. Can't remember if the Clever Fox planner has that. I wouldn't be surprised if they did. So it really challenges you before you even start planning to just get organized in terms of where you want to see yourself, your vision. They both have vision boards. So you really get clear on what you want to do, where you want to be, and then you start organizing. And finally, finance journals. I'm bringing it back to Clever Fox and Legend Planner again. I love these journals so much. They just have everything in them. So they also have finance journals. Clever Fox Finance Tracker has a monthly review, has monthly income, monthly budgeting, expense trackers, bill organizers, savings trackers, debt tracker, yearly bills for each month, saving goals, finance goals. I could go on and on and on and on. Anything you could want in terms of finances is there. Also great for someone who's new to budgeting because, again, it prompts you. It has all the categories for you, so you don't even have to think about it. And you just fill it in. And then you see where your expenses are and, again, where you want to be. It tracks your income in the beginning of the month, at the end of the month. So really wonderful planners. And the Legend Planner is very similar. It has a financial plan, savings goals, debt goals, everything that's in the Clever Fox journal. But the layout is just slightly different. The look is slightly different. So if you're a visual person like myself, that might matter. Okay, we talked about a lot of journals and workbooks today. I hope that you've enjoyed some of these suggestions and that you can look into some of these if you're looking for a new journal. Again, I'll link some more down below if you want to check them out. And just remember too, when it comes to journals, sometimes people can create these expectations to fill some of these out, and if you don't fill it out, then you're not meeting your goals or you miss a page. And so just remember to be easy on yourself. Just remember this is just for your own growth, your own mental health, just taking a closer look at you. Even though these journals focus on organization or having prompts or holding yourself accountable, just remember to stay flexible as well. This is not a contest, and this is just to help you create your own routines, work on your own self-care, better organize your life and your finances, and even to take a closer look at the root cause of some of these struggles that you might be going through. All right, I hope everybody's having a great holiday season, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!